There were some 10,000 people from the island of Ireland who served at sea in the First World War in the Royal Navy, and there were 10,000 more at least who served in the merchant navy, the fishing fleets, the lighthouses, the other maritime trades that kept Great Britain and Ireland going through those hard years of the First World War. So with HMS Caroline being a former naval ship and a Royal Naval Reserve ship of many years, the opportunity to utilise her as a backdrop and her opening on the centenary of the Battle of Jutland, the most significant battle of the First World War at sea, in order to do an event to mark the service of all those from the island of Ireland who served at sea in the First World War, was just too good an opportunity to miss.
It was the most significant battle of the First World War and arguably the most significant naval battle in the Northern Hemisphere in all history. And just the sheer scale of ships sunk and casualties sustained makes it a very, very memorable event. And it's wholly appropriate that in the centenary year we respectfully commemorate those 8,500 sailors from Britain and Germany who died. HMS Caroline is one of the most important museum ships in the world. It's a very, very poignant and very, dare I say, beautiful memorial to the Battle of Jutland, but also for the Grand Fleet of the First World War.
Commander Bingham was a professional naval officer. Having left school here in Bangor, he joined the Royal Navy and chose the Royal Navy as a profession. On the 31st of May 1916, when the battle began, Barry Bingham was in command of HMS Nestor, which was a very fast, very agile destroyer, and his job was to get ahead of the Grand Fleet, spot the enemy, fire torpedoes if he could, and then return back to report what he'd seen to the fleet commander, who would engage the bigger ships. He took his own ship to within 3,000 yards of a German battle cruiser, which is about a mile and a little bit, unleashed his torpedoes and then hoped to get away, but unfortunately his ship was hit by shells by the Germans and he was sunk. The criteria for Victoria Cross is quite simple. It has to be courage beyond that normally expected of a naval officer in the face of the enemy, so you have to be under fire. Most people will tell you there has to be probably a percentage of greater than 90% of being killed in that action, although many do survive.
We're honoured, but as I said in my talk, courage is special to the person. It isn't a sort of entity that's inherited equally by every child and grandchild and great-grandchild. I mean, maybe other people have courage, but it's always a different type of courage.
My name's Edward Connolly. I'm here today. I'll be speaking about my great-grandfather, John Connolly, who served with the Merchant Navy and also with the Royal Naval Reserve. They talk about sort of like the Battle of Jutland, with the Royal Navy being the forgotten battle. But for the newspapers, all you would get in the newspapers in regard to the merchant fleet is the tonnage. There's 20,000 ton shipping lost this week. There's 30,000 ton shipping. It belies the fact how many actual ships was that, how many actual men in that tonnage. So again, you can see where the merchant fleet gets lost in the statistics of the war.
My granduncle, Timothy Collins, whose parents were Patrick Collins and Bridget Collins from Counquilla, Drimoleague, County Cork. He was on board the Indefatigable on the 31st of May 1916 and was lost at sea in that horrendous battle. So we're here to remember Timothy. We're here for the launch of the HMS Caroline, and we really appreciate all the effort, and we're proud to be here remembering Timothy.
It's magic in several different ways, because the first time I ever set eyes on HMS Caroline was in 1965, and you know, a lot of things have happened since 1965. It was 51 years ago. But I'm glad to be back, and Caroline's looking better than ever. She's in her best clothes today, and I think the people of Belfast should be very, very proud of the way she looks today. And I hope she draws hundreds and thousands of visitors, and I'm sure she will.
There were 123 killed in the Battle of Jutland who were from Cork City and County. I'm here today because my grandfather, Daniel Fitzgerald from Ballyadam, Carrytoohil, County Cork, was on HMS Tiger at the Battle of Jutland. He survived the battle. On his grave is written, in Ihlan Day go Goshter Shin, the translation of which is, in the corn store of the Lord may we all meet again. And that would be my wish for everybody who was involved in that war. May we all meet in peace in the corn store of the Lord.